Hello.
হ্যালো মার্জুক, আমাকে কি শোনা যাচ্ছে?
জি ভাইয়া, আসসালামু আলাইকুম। কেমন আছেন ভাই?
হ্যালো।
হ্যাঁ ভাইয়া, শোনা যায়। আমাকে শোনা যায়?
হ্যালো মার্জুক, আই এম অডিয়েবল।
ইয়েস ভাইয়া, শোনা যাচ্ছে।
হ্যালো ভাই, আমাকে কি শোনা যায়?
So we have 1 minute more. We are going to join, we are going to start our session within minutes. Please wait. I believe that actually send email notifications more than 150 members. So I can see that only a few of the members are only joined. Okay, no problem. So it's around 11:45 and we are going to start our session. So I'm Samuel Arifin. I currently actually I'm staying in Japan, and actually I initiated this initiation just make your just make some few Java developers as if you know that in foreign countries like especially in our South Asian countries and also East Asians. So there are actually huge demand for Java developers, not only in Asia, across the Asian countries. So now, actually, what is happening in the worldwide? As if we know that the most of the applications was written either in PHP or either in .NET, and maybe many organization they use very old Java version like 20 years back technologies. Now, actually, they are going to migrate their applications. So that's why there is a huge demand nowadays for the Java developer. So if you know already Java, so that is not actually exactly enough. So Java, alongside with Java, with DevOps knowledge, with cyber security knowledge. So uh, if you are planning to become a Java developer, that doesn't mean that it is easy to get the job. Actually, I am just talking about this as our initial conversation. So in the next step, from our next session, maybe I will not talk about that. So you are maybe you already doing job in Bangladesh market, or maybe you are juniors, maybe you are mid-level Java developers. So you already know Java, you have some knowledge in Java or Java related frameworks. That doesn't mean that you can beat the job in international marketplace. So knowing Java or Java related frameworks, knowing database or some other tools and technologies is not enough to beat in the job market and to make you more prepared. So actually what you need to do? So you have to be a proficient backend engineer. Alongside, you should have some basic knowledge about the front end. And also, you have to be proficient in DevOps, and step by step, you also should have knowledge in cybersecurity. So I assume that you already have the knowledge, but you are not getting the job, you are not able to beat the job in the international job market. So why actually you are not getting? So the most important part is that you have, first of all, you are a software engineer. So you should have ability like problem solving ability. You can actually, I assume that you know how to play with the technologies, but you don't have problem solving abilities. You don't have basic and fundamental ideas about the data structures and algorithms. So company will not, definitely will not hire you, right? And at the same time, you should have good knowledge in Linux and Unix systems. That means you should have the capability to play with the Linux and Unix. So please don't be worried about that. I will show you everything from scratch, step by step. And please stay tuned with me and please keep some patience. And anything you cannot get within with few months or few days, just participating few sessions. You have to do whatever actually you want to make a plan. You have to go step by step, very patient and very slowly. Okay, so let's actually, I'm going to start our sessions. No more talkings right now. I believe that you are able to see my screen. So the first, I already told you. So what the necessary tools and technologies that actually we are going to um, use actually in our Java EE Spring and Cloud Session training. So I want to tell you a few more before starting the session. So you should have I assume that you already have some basic knowledge about the Java standard editions. So Java has exactly two, how can I say, two versions, standard editions and enterprise edition. So if you don't have very good and fundamental knowledge of Java enterprise edition and Java standard edition, you will not be able to play with other Java frameworks like Spring, Quarkus, and Micronaut, those kind of frameworks actually. So each framework has its own um, own uses. So in every situation, you cannot use Spring. In every situation, you cannot use actually the Quarkus, Micronaut, Helidon, Drop Wizard, those kind of frameworks. So first of all, you should have basic and good understanding of hands-on uses of Java Enterprise Edition. That actually I am going to make, and I will actually convert our fundamental application into more than 40 or 50 ways, 50 fashions. Okay, so guys, actually, I will show you how can you actually convert your simple and basic applications in more than hundreds way using Java. Okay, so let's go into, first of all, I will download the Tomcat. I assume that you already have the Tomcat download. So you will go, first of all, you need to go this link, Apache Tomcat, which version do I want? You will go this link because Tomcat will depends on your Java compatibility. So I am currently actually I'm using Java 17. So I need to select Java Tomcat 11. So I will download this tar.zza file. Oh, sorry. I need to extract this tar.zza file. So I will go to downloads. Actually, we are trying to be habituated with some basic commands. So how can you do actually? So you are able to see my screen. Please send a message, anybody. Okay, okay, thank you. So actually, I can extract this Tomcat using actually UI, but from the scratch, actually, I'm trying to show how to extract and how to be habituated in the Linux environment. So I already downloaded Tomcat. So if I write ls-ltr, it will show the list of files in my download directories. So I already downloaded the Apache Tomcat, this version. This start.gz file. So actually what I will do, I will write tar zxvf Apache and press tab and enter. Now you can see. So we already extracted this Tomcat here using command line. Now, actually, what I will do, I will rename it using Tomcat. Then I will cut this Tomcat in my home folder. So now, I will go out. I will go the Tomcat directory. I will write ls-ltr. So I need to go conf directory. I will write cd conf. I will write again ls-ltr. So actually what I need to do, I need to actually uh, change this XML file. How can I change using Nano? So there are actually several options. You can use Vim, you can use Nano, or you can use VS Code. So my first preference is that to use the Nano, because when you will work in the real life scenario in the server, actually it's mandatory to use the Nano, because in the server they will not give you any text editor. Even server don't have any text editor, right? So you have only few options like Nano or Vim. So that's why please try to be habituated using some Linux command. So I will write nano tomcat users.xml. So you can see that in the bottom, these roles actually are commented out. So I already written some roles in here. I will share with you. I will just paste these roles. So how can you paste in the Linux? Control, Shift, and V. It paste. Now how can I save? You need to write Control O, enter, Control X. Okay. So now I will go out. So I will clear my console. Now I will go Tomcat, cd bin. And how to start the Tomcat? I will write. So now I already in the bin directory. How can I know I already in the bin directory? I will write pwd, enter. Can you see that? I already in the Tomcat bin directory. So I will show you there are actually a list of files to some files to start in the Windows and some files for Tomcat, and some files actually you can use in Linux also. I don't know what he's talking about, Marzuk. So are you able to um, listen my voice? I'm audible?
হ্যাঁ ভাই শোনা যায় বাট নয়েজ আসছিল আরেকটা মাইক থেকে ওই জন্য ওনাকে মিউট
Okay,
করতে বলছি।
thank you. So I will write ls ltr. So you can see that there are actually several files and options. Bash files, okay, for the as we are using Linux. So which command you need to use for the Linux specifically? For starting the Tomcat, you will use startup.sh, and to shut down the Tomcat, you will use shutdown.sh. So I'm going to write startup.sh. Can you see that Tomcat is already started? Okay. So what I will do, I will write localhost, because Tomcat default port is 8080. localhost. Yeah. So we are successfully able to run our Tomcat. Okay. Now you can see that there are three options. If I click that, it will see me, yeah, to see the server status. So if I click the manager app, so it will also show that this way. But actually, definitely it should show me the login option. So maybe there was previous session, I will go incognito mode. So I will try to run localhost. Now if I write on server status, it will see me. Can you see that? It's forcing me to log in. So what is exactly my username and password? So my password is Sami and username is Sami. So I will write Sami, Sami. Can you see that? Yeah, we already logged in. Now I want to go back to manager app um, because we already logged in. If I go to host manager, I will write username Sami and password is Sami. Now we are able to see the Tomcat virtual host manager. So these three features are very, very important. When it is important, actually, when you are going to deploy our applications in Tomcat, then you will be able to understand why it is very important. Actually, there are two ways to deploy our applications. So the method one is um, manually deployment, and method two is automated deployment. So in our first few sessions, I will show you how to deploy our applications manually. And after that, I will show you how to deploy our application and make it automated. So what does it mean by automated? Automated means that we will use some DevOps tools like Nexus, Jenkins, Sonars, Kubernetes, and many more. Please wait for that, and we'll go step by step. So now, what actually I need to do? So now actually I want to create a project. So how to create the project? I will show you hard way how to create the project. So now we need to go out from Tomcat bin directory. I will clear my terminal. So if I write the pwd, so this is my home directory. So you can actually create project in any location. Okay. So actually I would like to create my project in my home directory, but you can use any directory. So I will paste this using Control Shift V. So what is that? What exactly meaning? The Maven archetype, it will generate a project with group ID. Group ID means your package. Artifact ID means your project name, and version. Actually, the initial version will be 1.0.0. Sorry. Oh, okay. So I need to change the version. Initial version will be 1.0.0, but you can use any version. So artifact ID, actually, I would like to make the project name JavaEE Cloud. But you can actually use any of the name as you wish. And so this is the group ID, artifact ID, version. Version is it's not mandatory, it's optional. You can use version actually, but if you don't use version, you will face some problems and difficulty while deploying your applications in the Jenkins pipeline. I mean the CI/CD pipeline. Okay, that's why actually we try to practice using version from the scratch. So if I hit enter, it will generate a project for us. So why actually Maven is generating project for us using command line? As of actually, I told you earlier that to work with our session, you must have installed Java, Maven, IDE, other necessary tools and technologies like Docker Compose, etc. So if I go CD, if I write JavaEE Cloud, I would like to see the project structure, ls-ltr. So you can see that this is our project structure, okay? POM and XML file, but few things actually missing. What is exactly missing? If you write cd src ls-ltr, So there is a main class. If I go to the main, if I write lsltr, but we cannot see any Java package, right? So actually we need to create this one manually. How to create? We will go JavaEE cloud, and after that, we will use some command. Please don't be worried about that. This is very simple command in Maven. What does the mean of command? So mkdir, it will create the directory inside the source main, and the directory name is Java. We hit enter, then we need to create test packages. We'll write again using like that. We'll create a directory inside the source test and Java. Now it's time to import our project using IntelliJ IDEA. As actually I told you earlier that we are going to use IntelliJ IDEA and Eclipse. So in our current session means that today I will show you how to import the project using IntelliJ IDEA. And the next session I will show you how to import your project and how to run your project using Eclipse IDE. So I will go out this directory. I need to start my IntelliJ IDEA. I will go IDEA. I will go to the bin directory. I will run the IntelliJ IDEA. So now it's time to import our project. Okay. So how to import our project? I will write open. I will go to the project directory. This Java. I will select the form. I will select OK. Open as project. I will check the trust all projects in this folder. I will write in trust in folder. Then the project will start importing. And please wait few seconds. So we can see that Maven is trying to download some files and folders, and after that it will sync with your IDE. It will depends on your internet speed. So please try to be sure that you have good speed of internet. Now, if I explore, we can see that source main Java, resources web app. So the standard Maven project is that it should be source main Java and it should have resources folder. And after inside that, you should have also web app package, web app folder. Inside the web app folder, you should have web INF or index.jsp. I believe you already understand. This is the basic folder structure. Okay. Now, what actually we need to do? First of all, we need to update our web XML file. So as if you can see that, so our web XML file is very old. And if I go to pom.xml file, this our pom.xml file also not updated. So before updating pom.xml file, few things are very, very important. What is that? Group ID, artifact ID, packaging, it should be var as we are going to web application. And version I mentioned in the command line, it would be 1.0.0. And the name, it's default. URL is it's also default. That is not necessary, but you can keep or you cannot keep as you wish. Now we need to define some dependencies. And before that, actually, I already noted some dependencies to make it quicker and without less error prone. And definitely I will share with the source code with GitHub link. Now, what is exactly the properties? In the properties, we define Java version, JavaEE version, and Glassfish glassfish version because it requires, because when the Java upgraded from 8 to 11 and 11 to 17 to make your Java E compatible with Java, that's why actually you need glassfish version required. And Maven compiler, Maven compiler target, as of now actually I defined in here. And this is also very important. What is that? Project build source
बाबा
encoding.
बाबा
So
आपने
this
कि
is
बहुत
very,
ही
very
सर
important. Maybe you will not face any difficulties if you
मोटिवेशन
don't
करो
use in the
जैसे
local
मुझे तो मर दिया
environment,
मुझे
but
मोटिवेशन
in terms of the production environment, if you don't use that, you will face
हाँ हाँ अपने
multiple
पास
issues. That's
ऑटोमेशन
why
कर
actually I
देता
used source encoding like UTF-8. Now I need to define some dependencies. So I will copy these dependencies from here. In the it should be under the dependencies tag. So I will press enter, Control V. So we have some dependencies. So I just reformat it. As you can see that this is our dependencies. And also you need to add some plugins to work with Maven. So plugins we will add inside the build directory. Okay. Now Control Alt L for reformat. So what actually I will do right now, I will sync and it will try to pull some dependencies. If the dependency is not available in your local Maven repository, oh, we are getting some exception. MySQL version. And MySQL and Project Lombok is not available. Okay, so I need to search about that. It's very common while developing applications to getting some error. Just few seconds, please. Okay, the MySQL version will be 8.4.0. So if I write MySQL, so let me go out here. So I will just copy this here. So MySQL version will be 8.4.0 and the Lombok version and 1.18.1.32. Okay, now if we try to sync, I believe that there will be no error. Yeah, so there will be no error. Okay, now actually we just initiated a basic project. So what I need to do, I need to go to web, I need to update my web XML file. So what is the web XML file? I will just copy. This is for initial project starter. You don't need to worry about that. So you need to delete your existing web XML. Just paste our new web XML. Please don't worry about that. I will share the source code alongside with the video. And you can see that we already updated our POM. We already updated the web XML file. What actually we need to update right now? So we will go again, POM file. So what is our group ID? I will just copy. This is our group ID. So I will copy this group ID. I will click source main Java and create the new package. So I will create our first controller. I will make it name as index controller, but we can use any of name. I will write index controller. So in the index controller, what actually you need to write in here? We are going to make some servlet to see if our project is properly configured or not. That is actually our purpose. So I will write the web servlet annotations. Please, I'm requesting you, please don't join after 11:45 because our time is very limited. Web servlet. Please make sure that this is coming from Jakarta because we're using very latest Java version. I will write for multiple route, I will write slash or. If you write home or, it will be responsible for multiple route, or if you write index, so any of this route, it should work. So I will write extends HTTP servlet. In the HTTP servlet, so it is very common to define the serial version. So actually, why we need a serial version? You will study, and it is very common. You already know that. So every Java class, actually, not every Java class, few Java classes require default serial version, like serial UID for serialization and deserialization. And also, uh, as this is a Java class, if we don't provide any default constructor, so JVM will create the default constructor, means Java. So actually, I don't want let Java will create the default constructor, so I will create my constructor. So I will write public index controller. It will be a default constructor, but this is not needed, but this is a good practice to have the default constructor. Now I will write a doGet method to initialize our pages. So we can go web app. We need to create a directory. We will write pages. So I will delete this index.jsp file. Okay. Now I will create our own JSP file, index. So I need to delete few of things from here. So in the body, I can write a simple message, h1, hello from JavaEE, Spring, and Cloud training. Sorry, spelling mistake. Okay. Now I need to load the page. So you can see that the page location is web app, pages, and index.jsp. So how to load this page actually? So I will write request dispatcher, request. Please make sure that all of the packages will come from the Jakarta servlet, not JavaX servlet. Request dispatcher. So we will load our index page. So our page is located in the pages index.jsp. Then what I need to do? I need to forward dispatcher dot forward request and response. So our index controller, maybe our name, some typo in the name. I need to, okay. Now it's okay, it's fine. So our page is also, our initial servlet is also ready. Our index page is also ready. We already configured the web XML file. We also configured our POM XML file, but still we are not yet connected with the database. Please don't worry about that. We'll do step by step. So now what is actually exactly remaining? We need to connect Tomcat from IntelliJ IDEA. How can we connect? We'll click on current file, edit configurations. We'll click on the plus signs. Now I will go Tomcat server. Okay, you can see that Tomcat server has two versions, Tomcat server and Tomcat EE server. Please forget about the Tomcat EE server right now. We'll click on Tomcat server. In the Tomcat server, there are two options, locals and remote. What does it mean, remote? So remote means that if we want to debug and make your application and deploy your application from remote, that means your application already in the cloud, you want to do remote debugging, then you will use Tomcat remote. So you will click the Tomcat local. Please give some name. I would like to name as Tomcat. And what is our application server directory? So please click on configure and click on here. So my application directory is Tomcat. So this is the Tomcat. Okay. I will click on it. I will okay. And after that, you can see that it says me warning, no artifact make for deployment. What does it mean? Because we already point out the Tomcat server directory. But definitely, if you run your application using IntelliJ IDEA and you will deploy your application into the Tomcat, so you should have some deployment artifact. So let's click on the deployment. Let's click on the plus sign. It should be artifact and it should be war exploded. Okay. And please ensure that in the application context, you should write as slash. Now click on apply, click on OK. Let's see this approach works or not. Now click on run Tomcat. So there are two options. You can run your application or you can debug your application. So right now, actually, I'm going to run our application. Oh, because we already Tomcat already running. We already run the Tomcat in our history. First of all, we need to stop the Tomcat. Tomcat bin shut down. We need to shut down our manual application. Tomcat application first. Then actually we'll be able to run the Tomcat. Now, this is the Tomcat logs. You can also see the server log. So yeah, we are successfully able to run Tomcat application. Sorry, our web app applications in the Tomcat server. So if I change something in the index.jsp, maybe I would like to if I change, let's see it is reflected or not. Then what actually I will do, I will not restart, I will redeploy. Yeah, it's changed. That means it is actually working. Now, please stop the server. Otherwise, it will consume your RAM more and more. Now it's the high time to make our application infrastructure step by step. So what is the application infrastructure and architecture? Actually, what we are going to do. Now, I will write a basic but a standard infrastructure. Please, I'm reminding you again, please don't apply in your production level application because in production level applications, there may have multiple modules. Okay, this is for only learning purpose. So please ensure that it should be source main Java, and in the Java click on package. Write com.javaee dot entity. You need to make your entity class first. Entity. Then write source new package com.javaee dot, maybe I can copy right now, javaee dot service. I can make another package com.javaee.utils to put our utils files. I can write another package com.javaee.constant. Constant. We need another package which is called com.javaee DAO to access the database. That means to talk with the database. I believe that we already finished. So first of all, I need to make an entity class. What will be our entity class name? So we are going to make a very simple application. So we can make a class X country, and this country we are going to add. For example, okay, before using Lombok, I will show you something. Maybe I will write private integer ID. I will write country ID, country name, maybe name is good enough. And I would like to add another property, which is called private string continent. That means your country is belongs to which continent. Okay. So if I don't use Lombok, what actually I need to write manually? I will show you. Lots of boilerplate code will be generated if you don't use the Lombok. I will click Alter, Enter. I need to add a constructor first. Then I need to again alter insert. I need to add getter for all fields. So then I need to add, if I alter insert for, sorry, setter, then I also need to add toString. So you already know that, I assume, what's the meaning of the toString. So you can see that only for 3 properties, it generated many codes. And also you need to write equals and hash code. This is mandatory, okay? You can see that there are lots of boilerplate code. So I will not use, and I'm not interested to use those boilerplate code. Instead of that, what actually I can write? I can write very special annotations, Lombok data. And after that, sorry, I will use builder. Why actually I'm going to use builder? I will show you later, step by step. And I will write no argument constructor for default constructor, and I will write all argument constructor for all constructor. So this data annotation, what is exactly doing? It will responsible for getter, setter, toString, equals, and hash code. But in all situation, you cannot use getter, you cannot use this data annotation, because there will be some cases you have to define your own equals and hash code based on your property. So in all cases, you cannot use exactly, but you should know how to use without using Lombok, and how to play with the properties of the Java entity classes without using Lombok also. So now actually I need to go utils class. So in the utils, maybe, okay, 1 minute. So I will write a constant right now. So I will just make as app constant. So what exactly we need the app constant file? Please remember, this is for your constant file. Your constant Java class file should be final type. Why it should be final type? Because none of any Java class, you will stop inheriting, so that none of any Java class cannot extend your class. And also please make sure that it should be no argument constructor, and access level should be private. Why? Access, okay. Don't know what the meaning of that. So access level private means that, so outside of this class, if you want to create a object, okay, if you want to create a constructor of this class, that means that you cannot instantiate of this class, and you will stop instantiation. And this is the standard practice for the utils and constant classes. And you need to define and how actually you can access this constant class properties. You will access, because the properties should be public type and static type. So that means that if you don't have ability to create the object of this class, to make the instance of this class, so you will access through static type. How can you access? Public, like that. So we need to define some database driver to access our database. So I will write driver So I will copy multiple times right now. Okay. So I need to, it should be MySQL driver. So I will write com.mysql.cj.jdbc.driver. Okay. Then you need to define the user because we are going to access the MySQL. MySQL means database. And the user, the default user actually I defined as root, but you can use any of the MySQL user. And you need to use the password. In my case, the password is Arifin. And what will be the your database access URL? JDBC colon MySQL colon / 127.0.0.1. So what does it mean that? It means that your local host IP 127 point, sorry, we did a mistake. 127.0.0.1. And after that, you need to define the port.
Hello, Assalamu
What is our
alaikum.
port? 3306 is the default MySQL port. And what is our database? Maybe we can write now Java. We don't have a database right now. JavaEE Cloud. And it should be URL. Now it's high time to create our database. So how to, because I don't have any database installed right now. Maybe I may have some Docker file. So I will override this Docker file. So I will write Docker ps a to see the list of instances. So I will stop Docker, my MySQL container. So how to stop a container? The Docker stop, right? And please copy this container ID.
Interview
And after that, you need to remove the container ID.
Daxilo.
So if I write Docker
কি করছে?
ps-a, there is no container. So there is a very simple command to run your Docker. Okay. You can run exactly. I will explain. So we are running Docker run --stem means its container name. And we are defining I'm going to defining my password. You can define your own password. And that we are going to use MySQL for the root user. Okay, that's why actually I did not change any user here in this command. P means port. It's a port forwarding. And D means MySQL will run in detached mode with MySQL. So this is the MySQL image and this is the MySQL image tag 8.0. If I hit enter, you can see that a hashtag is generated. So if I write Docker ps-a, you can see that a container ID is generated. So actually how to access this container? So I will write Docker exec it. It will be your container ID. Okay, so we are already inside the container. Now inside the container, how can you log into the MySQL? You will write MySQL-host. Host will be 127.0.0. Sorry, 127.0.0.1. And default user is root and dash password. You will use password Arifin. Now we are successfully able to log into the MySQL. So I would like to see what is the default databases. Show databases. There is no database, so I will create the database. Create database JavaEE. So our database is created. Now I'm going to create the table. So I have some basic simple command. I am going to create the table of country. Oh, well, I need to select the database first. Then you will be able to create the table. So I need to sure that we have tables, show tables. Yeah, we have the country table. Now it's time to insert some data in the country table. I will insert some data. Yes. So if I write select all from country, we have some data. That means we are successfully able to connect MySQL. Now I will go MySQL workbench. Okay. And I want to forget this connection right now. I want to show in both way actually. So you can actually make connection name anything, but I'm write JavaEE, but this optional, but not optional, but you can write anything. Host name is localhost, username is root, and password is, in my case, yes, Arifin. I will test the connection. Okay, it's connected. I'll press OK. Now, if I double click here, you can see that we already have the database, JavaEE, we're able to access, and we have the tables, and we have the country. If I write select all rows, our data is coming. That means in both ways, we are able to connect MySQL database. Now it's high time to create our Java class. Through the Java class, we will see how to access and how to be connected with MySQL database. So we will write in the utils package. I will write a Java class which is called database config. So in the database config class, I will define something public static connection and get connections. So in the get connections, I will make a connection object as null initially. Actually, I'd like to make it as a proper naming convention connection. So inside the connection, I will write a try catch block, exception x. Let's write anything here. But in the near future, actually, I will change this print stack trace. It's a bad way to defining the print stack trace inside the catch statement. So what I will write, class dot for name. First of all, I will load my database driver, and after that, in the connection object, I will try to get the database connection. The first parameter will be URL. And the second parameter will be user. Third parameter will be password. So this is not coming. It should come from the app constant that actually we already defined in the app constant class. Okay. If I click, it's coming from the app constant. If I click user, it's coming from the app constant. If I click the password, it is coming from the app constant. So our database name is only JavaEE, not JavaEE Cloud. So here actually for testing purpose, I'm talking about the testing purpose as out for we'll actually print something that either we are connected or not connected. So what actually I will write, and after that you need to return your connection. So I will write a public static void main. This is just for debugging purpose. Okay, I will actually remove this class right now. database config get connections. Okay, so let me click on this. So actually I would like to run this class. So if I run database config main, so before proceeding our applications, actually I need to be 100% sure either it is connected or not. So I can see that it's my output shows that it's connected. Okay, so if I change the parameter, let me show you it is connected or not. I'll just write for testing purpose. I will remove the n. My password, I'm now actually I given my wrong password. If I write run, if I try to click on run, yeah, it's not connected. That means we are able to successfully connect it using JDBC of MySQL. Now again, if I click on run, yeah, it's connected. So now it's the high time to, I will also remove this one because we don't need to test again. So it's time to define our DAO and service classes. So in the DAO class, I will write country DAO. Please follow my naming convention. Country DAO. So it should be interface. And inside the country DAO, also you need to add another class which is called service, which will be country service. And it is also it will also be interface. Okay. So in the country DAO, sorry for that. You need to define some method list country find all. As actually we'll do some pagination, we need to write integer offset and integer limit. Limit means record per page. You can write anything. Record per page. Then I need to define a method, save method, Boolean. It should be save and it should be country. I will write update. I will write delete. I will write again another method to find a specific country. So it should be country. It should be find by ID. And for the count, because we will do pagination, that's why actually we need another method which is called count. Okay. So every method should be throws SQL exception. Sorry, it should be SQL exception. I'm going to add this as method signature. Okay. So now just copy all of the method from here and paste into the country service. Actually, why actually we are doing, I will show you later. Oh, we written in country service. Okay, fine, no problem. We can post in the DAO service. Now I need to create DAO implementations. Why? You will understand one way slowly. Country DAO IAM implementations. It will implement country DAO. Okay. Now you need to create service implementations. Country implementations. It will implement country service. Okay. Then we will implement all of the method. So here actually I will try to create a dependency injection. As actually we are not using Spring, so it's not possible to give dependency injection in Jakarta E. But there are actually few options you can make dependency injection. The first option is that using manual way. The second option is that using like that EJB, like using EJB, or you can use CDI. Okay, there are few of options if you don't use Spring dependency, Spring Core exactly for dependency injections. But actually, right now I don't want to use EJB, or right now I don't want to use CDI right now. So maybe I will try for manual way. So I will write private final country DAO, country DAO. So it should be require argument constructor. Why? If we don't use require argument constructor, actually what actually we need to use manually. I will show you both way. Public country service. Yeah. So that means I need to create a constructor of the country service implementations, and inside the constructor, I need to inject the country DAO. I believe that this is the bad way because it's not showing, the code will become ugly. That's why I strongly recommend you to use the Lombok. So Lombok will automatically create the constructor of this class and it will inject. Make sure that the class you are going to inject, it should be final type. Otherwise, you will get exception. Now, what actually I'll write? Country DAO final. Save country. Update country. Delete. It should be ID. And find by one, you can write. And for count. So I believe that you already understand actually what I am going to do. In the service layer, I'm not writing anything, any business logic in here. So what about the calculations and what about the database queries? I will write inside the country DAO implementations. Country DAO implementation. Here actually I will write. And I will just call the country DAO implementations through the country DAO interface in the country service implementations. Okay. So if I will show you, if I go country DAO, if I click find all, then if I go to the implementation, you can see we already in the country DAO implementations. So let me write some of the queries. So today actually I will write the for list because we already passed 1 more hour. Maybe tomorrow, the next time actually we will meet. But before that, I want to finish at least find all method before I leave. So I will write in here list list country. It should be country. It should be array list. And after that, I will write connection equal to database config dot get connections. And after that, I will write my SQL query. String SQL. Please try to write using database standard. Actually, I'd like to use capital letter. And it should be order by, order by country underscore ID. Because we are actually selecting all country based on the page. We are doing also pagination at the same time. And should be limit. And after that, what actually you need to do? You have actually several options like statement and prepare statement. So statement is not secured. Why? I will show you step by step why statement is not secured. So actually Oracle announced that you have to use a prepare statement to access database secure way. Otherwise, you have some chances in SQL injections. You'll write prepare statement. So in the SQL, this is a standard procedure, right? String SQL. So people will understand what actually, this is the SQL string. Should be capital, but you can use a small letter also. Now, in the prepare statement, so in the prepare step, you need to set integer. First one is offset. And after that, you need to use record per page. And after that, you need to create a result set. Okay, result set to execute the prepare statement. So now actually as we are going to use actually the purpose of this method is that it will return a list of users. Then we need to write a while loop. While the result set is next, that means while we have the result, it will actually execute this statement. So we need to create the country object, and after that we need to set the country ID. Okay, so it should be result set dot get integer country ID. Then we have the country dot set name. It should be result set name country, sorry, set continent. It should be result set dot set continent. And after that, what actually you already created the list. We need to add each country object inside the list. So this is our list dot add country. Okay, and after that you need to return the, as we are using returning empty, but you need to return the countries. That's all. So we already successfully completed our find all method. Maybe you guys maybe wait for few minutes. Actually, I will be able to complete the same method. Let's see. Maybe I can give you some more time, maybe 10 minutes more time. So I can write, I'd like to complete the insert statement. Then I need to return prepare statement, execute. It should be execute update. Execute update should be greater than 0. Okay. I just format the code again, and now I will write the update method. I will get the connect connection, then I will write the SQL. So I will write update query, update SQL, set country name equal to what, continent equal to what, where country underscore ID equal to what. Okay, it's a very, very basic SQL statement. Then I will create call the prepare statement. Then I will set the parameter, country name, continent, and the country ID. So what is that exactly? You can see that prepare statement. Country name index is 1, continent index is 2, and the last index is country ID, which is index is 3. That's why actually we are preparing the prepare statement. Then I need to return prepare statement, execute update. So what about the delete statement? Same thing. I need to call the connection, then delete statement, then prepare statement, set ID. Then actually I need to call, maybe I can copy. I don't like to write every time. Okay. However, the find by ID, connection. Okay. For the find by ID, I can initialize country as null. Then I will write the SQL statement in first. After that, first I will get the connection. Then I will write the SQL statement. After that, I will prepare the prepared statement. And in the prepared statement, I will pass the SQL. And after that, I will set the ID as where for where ID equal to what. And if it is exist, if the query is exist. So before that, actually, I need to write a result set. If the result set is exist, then actually we'll try to fetch its value. So I will write integer country ID. So result set in what is result set? Result set is getting from it is our database column name. Please be ensured that this one is our database column name, not our country entity ID. It should be country ID. So I will write I need the string country name. And I also need continent. Then I will return our country. In the country object, I will pass country ID, name, and continent. That's why actually I need all argument constructor. Now you understand, maybe. So that's why actually I need all argument constructor here to pass all of the parameter inside the country object. So we can go. Now actually I need to return the country object. Okay. I will do some format. So what about the count method? In the count method, so I will initialize integer count equal to 0. Then I will create the connection. Then I will create the SQL statement. Select count all from the country. So I will actually modify this one. So it will be select count all as total from country. That is simple modification. This is very simple count query. Then I will write the prepare statement. Inside the prepare statement, I am just passing the SQL. And after that, I will create the result set. So in the result set, if result set has exist, then it will be total. After that, I am returning my count. Okay. Then I will format the code. So I believe that our this DAO layer code already finished, and I believe we already passed 1 hour more time. So inshallah, so our DAO service layer and it's already completed, and our configurations is already completed. So from tomorrow we'll start writing our controller classes, and we'll start writing our JSP pages, and we will do much more things because in the JSP file we just written this is a very plain JSP. We did not do any how can I say partials, like we did not configure it properly for this project. So inshallah tomorrow I will meet with you, and before that please say how can I say please cross the road very safely and stay good, and thank you for joining for this session. Thank you. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum to everybody.
Thank you.